In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, dear viewers everywhere, peace and blessings be upon you all. Good evening. May He bless you with blessings and welcome in a new episode of your program, The Council, which comes live, broadcasted from here, Accra. In this episode, as we do always, dear viewers, we're going to host a set of sons of Mecca who are specialized in servicing the pilgrims of the holy site, and with other paragraphs which we all ask Allah Almighty that you will like. And I'm pleased in this episode to be with me, my colleague Ayman Khidr. Welcome, dear viewers. Peace and blessings be upon you all, and welcome to the ninth coverage of Accra for pilgrimage. And as Accra used to do, I'd like to transfer to you the images of pilgrimage and the continued coverage using our reporters and cameras. And the roles are different, that's why our segments are different, but the topic is one. Dear viewers, we have the guest chief, Abdul Razak Bakhsh. How are you? And thank you for this beautiful hosting, which gonna make us talk about our good memories, good old days. This circumambulator, Abdul Razak, one of the Mecca's people, Chief Abdul Razak, he's multi-talented, and before the episode we could be able to identify about a lot of things pertaining to the past, and we lived the beautiful memories of Mecca al-Mukarramah. To start with, when we talk about the circumambulation guides or circumambulators and their service to the pilgrims, there's something distinguished those who service, those who coming answering the call of Allah Almighty in these holidays. In the ancient days, long time ago, we had a beautiful set of circumambulators. Honestly, they excelled in servicing the pilgrims. They used to travel outside the kingdom, and each one of them are specialized in a certain area outside the kingdom. Before they have these associations, when the circumambulator received the pilgrim, when he comes through Jeddah, then they will accompany him to Mecca, and then we receive the pilgrim, all the pilgrims in Mecca, whether in Jihad or any Mecca's neighborhood, in our houses. We serve them, or us, or our kids, or our children. It's a beautiful service, and we're pleased with the service. Mr. Abdul Razak, can you talk about food and participating in food and sharing food and drinking? We talked, me and my Talal, about this, and we saw a lot of beautiful things. And God bless him, he touched up beautiful things. This sweets, there's patisseries right here called Mamul. And my wife, she made it today, and God bless her, she made it. The Mamul, or this patisserie, it's made by flour, and it's stuffed with dates. And the one is made, it's made by a high quality of flour, and it's provided to the pilgrims. And in Egypt they call it like a cake, and they celebrate it in the Fitr day. You celebrated the pilgrims when you receive them. This is an annual habit that we have to have, and it's another form of sweets. Can we just show this one? This mamul, or this cake, it's made by the flour, and it's stuffed with dates, and sometimes there's stuffed with nuts. It's stuffed by date and nuts, and this other one, it has a different taste. It's made by a special way, And what kind of spices is this? It's special scents and flavors. It's been made to give a special flavor to the mamul. I used to prepare it and make it, and we used to put it in trays and take it away. Now we don't have ovens like we used to do. Now we make it, or we cook it in our ovens or the smaller ones that we have available. This is pertaining to the Guraiba. Yesterday you talk about those who first performing pilgrimage, if there were children or new pilgrim. We used to celebrate them. We used to perform pilgrimage with them, all of the people of Mecca, on a yearly basis. When they come to Mina, and then we climb up Arafah, and then we go back. And the third day, or maybe the second day, we cook something they used to sell in Mina, in certain shops. And used to sell the sweets and other sweets, or those goodies. It's stuffed with chickpeas. Do we import it from outside? No, we import it from abroad. We have these candies actually as well, and we put these coins, and sometimes we put like pennies and stuff. But now we brought like half dirhams, those large denominations of coins. Were they this big? How could you be able to carry him? We could carry him in a certain trays and on certain bags, and he will mix them up for you. And he put the candies, and they used to bring about 4 people, and they brought up like cloth, and they put him, and then underneath it is the child and the pilgrim, and they sing for him, they celebrate him, and then they throw it at him. That's why they call it juju. Juju, that means that they're celebrating the pilgrim. And a girl takes those coins, but before though we had the silver coins. And how is it different than today's? This is disappeared. Only but those of the people of Mecca or Al-Medina who used to carry out these traditions. They have people until now, they still perform, they conduct these traditions, that we have to make this jojo, this celebration, as we do the others, even the Rahmani, and the songs, and the Meccan woman. Is she involved in this? She is the only person who cooks for the pilgrim, primarily, and we used to supply her. Before, we used to get the goods from a Sagan, and we had taps or hydrants with barrels, and the token of woman and circumambulator, we have Amira Sindas, peace and blessings be upon you, and upon you too. How are you? Our mother, thank be to Allah. We're good, thank be to Allah. Can you talk to us about, you heard Abdul Razak about the pilgrimage in the past, and the reception, you know, the food, the recipes. As if I heard, we used to, with my grandfather, and I attended one of those events with my grandfather. Like when we were children, we used to see the cooking. They cook for the pilgrims, and they host them, and necessarily every year we have to go. All of us, all the family members, they have to go with them, and we had to have big truck, and we didn't have a lot of vehicles, but now they used to load them in small buses. When we used to transfer us from Mina to Arafah, they used to keep us in the tents. they used to pack up the tents so they can move them up with them. As he said that the hospitality should be taken in consideration with the high standards, as he mentioned, Amira. And her role wasn't limited to cooking. Are there other things? And they may, for example, if we have pilgrims, we bring groups, the old ones. We learn from them cultures as well, like from Southern Asian countries, and language, and sometimes we sit with them when we learn the language, and we talk to them about religion, and we sit with them. And the older ones, they come to the circumambulator role exceeds cooking, and sometimes they guide them, and they teach them the rituals and the holy sites and all that. And this is right and this is wrong, and we teach women, and they come to us and we teach them. We didn't have scouts. Now we walk among tents and among the pilgrims, and we tell them, oh, this is right, this is wrong. And we miss that thing. Didn't you try to develop the career? A lot of circumambulators we see in Mina, there are circumambulators in Mecca that are eager to be among and to keep their kids with them. You, as women, female circumambulators, didn't you try to develop the situation and to raise your kids on this? Or the new generation doesn't like to do so? Don't forget that the family is the big family of the big family's house. So we live with grandfather. Now my brothers are taking over circumambulation. We were in the same house. We were at the same with the workers, receiving pilgrims, and we take the family, all of them. Now women are not allowed. Now there are associations and agencies, and we do charity. Along with the sisters, they pass by the hospitals and visit patients and to see if they're lacking something. And we conduct meetings, and we have some activities that we take on. Before in Arafah we used to cook, but now Mr. Abdul Razak would like to say. In fact, you say you are from Iskandar's family, and they are rich in history from the days of your grandfather. Have you witnessed the 10th day when the circumambulator didn't have 40 or 50 tents only? When they set up the tent in Mina, and the quenching day, during the quenching day, this where they are prepared. And with Shaban, with the technicians or technical people to come in Shaban and to set up tents. They come and they set up the tents in Mina, and they come through the quenching day and they sleep over, and during the dawn, the sunrise, and then they go to Arafah. When they're coming from Arafah, before they reach Arafah, they take it apart. And they put it back again. So when the pilgrims come back again, they find it the way they are. And in the era of the custodian of the holy mosques, and may Allah make him victorious, and his deputy prince as well. Long time ago, the circumambulator, they had lamp with the men so they can use it for enlightening. And for women, they have a small lamps. And sometimes I remember Salim Hariri, the circumambulator, passed this information to me. May God bless him. And I'm going to talk to you about buses as well. Let me finish with Amir Iskandar, circumambulator. Thank you for your participation and for this information you provided us with. Thank you. God bless you. Let's continue with you the topic of buses, and sometimes they set up the tents and everything. He was burdening a lot of efforts. Were they in groups, in the waves? And before that, they have buses, but we have a low number of buses. How was the climate? Was it cold? No, the climate was beautiful. It wasn't hot as now, but according to the climate. But back in the days, the atmosphere was beautiful. We used to dig in the land, maybe like a whole meter by meter, and we throw straws and salt, and then we cover it. And then when the pilgrim comes, we make for him cold water. For the buses, would you like me to continue regarding the buses? They had beautiful names. Even the bus itself, even the buses, they have it's called the Olive. And also, bless him, Salam Hariri passed this information to me. In fact, what is this olive? Why is it called olive? It's called olive. There are a lot more beautiful names. There is a bus called the Beautiful Eyes, and the Twilight, and Antarnash, and the Mustache, and Abu Khaddash, and Studio and Mango. Those are Manga was a name, and Studio was a name. And that's those separate names. This is by the company, or it's a Meccan name? No, they used to call it thus. And God bless his soul, Muhammad Ali, he used those names. And Abdul Razak, the love and the humanitarian relation between the pilgrims, did it disappear? No, the love is not like it used to be, because they're staying away from each other. It's beautiful, but the circumambulator had we can't get enough from talking to you, and we can't be able to talk to you in hours and hours, but we burden you with all these gifts to our program. And thank Khaled, God bless her for making all those. Thank you for being with us, and we are honored by having you, and like to thank you for this beautiful interview. And I wish that we have such programs to show us the richness of our history under the leadership of the custodian of the holy sites. Thank you, Abdul Razak. This circumambulator, you are a chief. Prince Amir Abdul Majid called me, gave me this title, and the staff of the arts organization. And small break, and we're going to be back. So please stay tuned. Thank you.
Welcome back, our viewers. We are still with you in this episode, and the poetess Nadia Abdallah, she would like to call Bard al-Riyad. You are welcome. The question, why Bard al-Riyad, the cold of Riyadh? This is the best. Is there any verse of poetry, or I expressed about this as for the cold of Riyadh? I mean the need, the need for the beautiful things. You are the daughter of Mecca. You have, poetry and many verses about Mecca and these scenes through the screens of TV. And our poetess, they have prepared a lot. I am not from Mecca, but I am proud. I all my life in Mecca. Jeddah and Mecca are the same. She is from Jeddah. What is the poetry for you? This is my personality. I am the poetess, and express myself in poetry, and even my behavior is poetry. I try to embody to take the personality of others. I have a poem for Mecca, as we are in this great season of pilgrimage and the pilgrims. These are the feelings of every Saudi or Arab or Muslim. I wrote on Mecca as a free Arabic. We are using it nowadays. I say, oh Mecca of love, oh Mecca of love, around you are hearts, and your lovers faithful. All hearts before you are very tough, but you are faithful to them. The land of prophecy, the land of Muhammad, and you are in the steadfast mountains. You are the land of prophecy. Be as you are. Be as you are, as the fount of the water stream. You are every time you are warm, and your house. Do not say to any Muslim, my space is not enough. It is not remaining for others. Take care of the hearts of the pilgrims who are traveling, and you have changed. The land of Muhammad be always permanent for us, the Muslims, in a state. God bestowed safety and security, and its king called himself as a servant, our custodian. The country and its king live long, O Mecca. Thank you. Beautiful words and good verses of poetry. And you have. I will ask you about if there is any meeting between poets. How about the women? Do you find difficulty in such thing, in challenging other poets? I don't have any challenge. If anybody wants to challenge me, I am ready. Every lover should love the one before his. If I find a man or a woman, he wants to compete me in poetry, I will do. We are talking about pilgrimage and the services rendered to the pilgrims in the past in Medina, as we talked to Abdul Razak about pilgrimage in Mecca. A report about the elderly, and interview some people in the service of the pilgrims. Ever at your service, oh Allah, ever at your service.
شكرا للزملاء في الاستوديو ومعنا الآن المهندس فاروق الياس.
At the studio, Farouk Alias talked to us about pilgrimage in the old days. Praise be to God and peace on his prophet. It was different. The pilgrimage was different greatly from now in terms of services, the facilities. Our house in Hamata, and Hamata was overlooking the Al-Manakha. Al-Manakha for the camels at the days of the Prophet and the companions of the Prophet. They used to come on camels, and the camels are remain there, and before us the buses stop and the pilgrims come down from them. Our houses were there. We were living on the roofs in rooms and rent all the rest of the house to the pilgrims. The rents were symbolic at that time. The pilgrim used to pay 500 riyals, 1,000 riyals, and it was good. There were no services, there was no water. Now, if there is no water from the hotel, they will contact us insistently, and there were a place there was a wall and installed on it water taps, and we take one to his house. It didn't reach every house. It is true that we have rare water because we have the water sources are few, and the people were complaining, but the people in the past were patient, and now it is great difference. Our government and headed by the custodian of the two holy mosques, this difference in transportation, even the planes, it was not, it was very few. We used to go to Mecca by cars. There was a yard, it is called Al-Madina, and we book it before enough time. It is allocated for the people of Medina, and we used our tent on our car and go to Mina, take the tent, and we cook, and the men eat together, the women eat together. They were beautiful days. And as Arafah, the same thing. We used to take the tent there were no agency, no circumambulator or agents to take care of the services. The late father, the meat of Arafah, it is exclusive, and the shepherds come to us, and we buy the sheep and slaughter it, and we make the rice and the meat and take lunch, and the Jamarat was easy also. Now there is the difference in Jamarat, development in all facilities. Now the train between Mecca and Medina at the mid of 1216 it will be complete, and the expansion of the Jamarat or stoning areas, it is a big project which is sponsored by King Abdullah, and he performed greatly, and it cost about $4 billion. And I used to live in a building near Al Jamarat, and there was a window looking at the Al Jamarat. You used to hear ambulances around the 24 hours, especially the first day. The people are crowded, and if one falls down, 20 will fall down after him. And if the crowd 500,000, there should be accidents. The football playgrounds the people, the young people play there, and you find the victims about 8 or 10. Now, thanks to God, there is a big difference in all services. The expansion of Meccan precincts and thanks to this government which exerted a lot of effort and expends billions for the pilgrim to this is beautiful report. If you see our cousins, our grandfathers and fathers, their words are so nice. You feel that everything is easy. The things said about Mecca, the old days. As a poetess, these verses, the people were very nice and kind. And we know that you have poetry. I have a story of a poem. I go with a person, whether an old woman or mother, one of the messages, or a child. I sit with a lady regarding the pilgrimage. She was old and sick. I was asking her, how was the pilgrimage? Do you hope to go to pilgrimage after the expansion? And life has changed. She's short-sighted and she is sick, but it has a lot of hopes in spite of sickness. But she hopes too. She can't, but she hopes. I had a feelings. I wrote, why do I see you? Why are you here? Why? And your heart has become rosy from your eyes. Why my life to Mecca, and you are the country of safety and security. I will prostrate in the for God and ask my God to forgive my sins and call my heart to wipe out my sins. I am the mother of Mecca, and I adored the Haram house, and even to see you, even by sight. I like to see Al Haram, and even the I can't have this sight. I will remain loving you until I die. I will ever repeat my imagination to you and to be the eternal place, and my tears are running when I look. I have a tongue to remind. I still remember my God without stopping, and I remember my God. I long for the house of Allah. I long to come to you in the crowd, the pilgrimage, and call the faith. Bestow me a pilgrimage, and after it the faith will come. For the sake of you, Mecca, I will be settled in you, whether living or dead. There is a participation from our poet Marwan Limzani. He is a member of the literature club. You are welcome, our poet Marwan. Happy year. Actually, the feelings are moving, and the words do not stop before the poets, and you are looking at the live transmission of the rituals of Hajj. We don't want to be lengthy with you. We want to hear you on this occasion. I thank you and to your colleague and the poetess Nadia Al Abdallah, to the Islamic community and to the Saudi Arabia and its people on this occasion. Actually, is labbaik about the Hajj and the happiness of pilgrims. Labbaik. The pilgrims have cried and repeated from all corners they come and answering the call for them, and Al-Khalil, Abraham Al-Khalil called his God, and the streams of people came according to the Islamic call. Without such proclaim, it would be difficult to see those pilgrims. They stood at Arafat in humility and invoking God, and raised their hands, and their tears were dropping. And to have a door open for their calls to go back with white hearts. Thank you, our poet, Mr. Marwan. Thank you very much for this participation. And you are the son of Al-Madina Al-Munawwara. And after a few days, you will go back to Al-Madina after completion of pilgrimage. Our poetess about Al-Madina, that is the place where all hearts like to go there, and we give. It is the place of our prophet, and I wrote a poem, and the pilgrim have completed his pilgrimage. He has a hope to go to Tiba or Al-Madina Al-Munawwara. When I go to Medina, I have strange feeling. I hope that we were from the companions of our prophet. We are his beloved people, because he hasn't seen us. I am in Taiba or Al-Madina no more, and near you I cover myself. A prophet was combining us with a revelation. I am in Taiba no more, and in your neighboring I cover myself, and a prophet was combining us with a revelation, and he taught us to pray and to do an action to be proud of. I am in Taiba no more. Sometimes I see from the sound of my prophet and go back with my hopes running. I hope that my age changes. I am in Taiba no more. Sometimes I need it a sea of the sound of my apostle. I hope that my age changes to be at the time of my prophet, and see him who was preparing for meeting a foe sometimes, or meeting his companions. I go back from a land which witnessed the prophet, and I praise. I am from his lovers, and as he mentioned us, and he repeated this for us, and he doesn't speak except from the revelation coming to him from heaven. I hope the hope be greater. Thank you, our poetess Nadia Al Abdullah, and for your participation with us. Thank you for being here. Now break and we will continue with you.
Dear viewers, we're still with you, and our guest today is a photographer from Makkah al-Mukarramah, and he works for the research institution. Our guest is Abdurrahman Samani. I'm pleased to be among you. Welcome, Abdurrahman, and we are honored to have you, and you are a photographer for these beautiful scenes, holy scenes. I'm pleased to be among you. Now we're gonna move with the viewers, and hopefully it's gonna be a pleasant segment. And you are a specialized photographer for the pilgrimage, so we were pleased for your coming. I'm sure you have a lot of stories with regards to photography. When I started photography in 2007, 2008, and I entered the field of photography, and I moved among other fields, and I found myself in Mecca, and Mecca is a precious treasure, the pilgrimage and pilgrims and people. And as photographers, we go to certain countries. And some photographers, they go to other states, but now we get those impressions here in the pilgrimage, and I try as much as I can to transfer to what these people are doing. How about we move to Mina, and Abdullah Hamid in Mina, and he's their brother Abdullah. God bless you for your effort, and I'd like to talk to us about the atmosphere in Mina. And God bless you, Mina, and welcome with you and the viewers. The atmosphere in Mina is spiritual and beautiful. And before a while ago, the groups of pilgrims reached to Mash'ar Mina, and among them the disabled people and the older pilgrims, and they prefer to stay at their tents until tomorrow morning. And on the other side of Mina, we witness a continuous motion of the train while it's transporting pilgrims from the stations of Muzdalifah, the 3 stations, to the station of the Bridge of Pebbles, and we witness a dense traffic, which the vehicles are moving the pilgrims to holy site of Mina, where they are prepared to spend tomorrow, which is the first day of Eid, and for those who having a sacrifice to perform, is preparing for tomorrow's event by God's help. Can you tell us about the security measures and the organization over there, or the organizing over there? We witness a huge traffic, and some of them, they're trying to organize traffic here in Mina. Minutes ago from now, we had a high traffic jam on Abdulaziz Bridge, and by praise of Allah, they could be able to overcome it. And they have a huge attendance for the security members, who they took a break right now, and it's been like a vacation for them, but they came back to work to ensure the comfort of those pilgrims, and so they can make sure they can be able to perform their duties. Let's identify through you about the atmosphere and the climate and the health situation over there. With regards to the climate, the temperature right now was not high in Mecca al-Mukarramah. The temperature in Holy Mecca was 43, and in the holy sites between 30s and 37 to 38, according to the head presidency of environment, protection of environment. There were some clouds at the holy sites, and the minister, the engineer working for the Minister of Health mentioned that the Ministry of Health until now are standing on the health situation for all the pilgrims, and there's no epidemic diseases like Ebola or Corona, and he said there's no recorded diseases or cases. And we visited some of the medical stations, and most of those cases where they're like maybe they have some suffocations because of the high traffic or like a heat wave, but that's about it. Thank you so much for the coverage. Let's go back to Abdurrahman. Let's go back to photography. How does talent come? Of course, sometimes some of us, they have certain talent that he's gifted with, and sometimes it develops through practice, and sometimes you improve this talent, and you have to have the assistance of other people. Now we're going to go over some of your photos and your creative work through working in the research institution of pilgrimage, and this opportunity allow you things that are not allowed to others. I'm so lucky. So I found opportunity with the center, so I can be able to dedicate this talent. Until we have the picture, the last question: how can you be able to make this talent make you able to teach it? Now I teach, but sometimes I go courses, but sometimes through your own experience and through from the technical part, and how can you be able to overcome it in the future? And afterwards, you have the training qualifications, and you can be able to you deliver, and how can be able to make him to overcome things that you went through yourself. And the holy sites, the holy mosque in Mecca al-Mukarramah, have you have facilities in while photographing? Do you find this cooperation from the others? No, we have cooperation from the president, the main presidency, and there's a lot of facilities and a lot of facilitation, in fact, and we can be able to take advantage of this. Is from addressing the Kaaba from last year, and every year we come down and we sew the dressing the garment, and now you can be able to divide the picture, and you can put it out in a very artistic way. And you have opportunities that are not allowed to others to reach to that stage. Yes, thank be to Allah. Let's look to the other picture. Here, this picture, it's cropping. Initially, it's protecting the gates and preparing for them to exit as well from performing the worship, and the security forces attending was huge, and they look beautiful. And you use some certain programs to in photography. Sometimes you use technique slow motion as much as you can, so you can cover the motion, and it will attract different elements and also the bases. You have to be aware of those bases. This is an outer picture for outside the holy site, and there's a person who is invoking the Almighty. This was taken on one of the mounts, right? One of the mountains, yes, outside Mecca, about 80 kilometers away from Mecca. Question: those who are aware of photography and aware of the angles and lighting, is this considered a photographer, or he's among the old generation and he's not among today's generation? Technology facilitated for the photographer a lot of things. So you can be able to give you a lot of details while taking the pictures. Now the technologies that we have, Photoshop and Atrobe, give us a lot of additions, so you can be able to adjust. And to begin with, it's photography, but also it's an art. This is from dressing the Kaaba. This is today's dressing. This is the changing the garment. This is, we see it's still there. They didn't stretch it yet, and it looked in motion, but something that we don't usually witness. And we always see the cube covered. We could be able to take a shot that it's still. Where did you take the shot? Whoever saw this is going to see that the roof is far away from here. Is this year, praise be to Allah, an opening give you ability to discover so many angles. Aren't you facing difficulties with the pilgrims throughout the day, with people? But sometimes we have a security individual just to move traffic, and this is from a different angle that you show the dressing and the crane also. Then we divide the pictures in two-thirds. It depends on the bases. Now we crop that picture. You have a picture that's the closest to your heart, that you hang it as much as they can. All of those pictures are our favorite. This is Muhammad al-Khayyat when he's sewing the garment. Is it like is it like innovating? Is he innovating? No, it's just he humped the crane, and it came to my attention that he's a sewer, he's a tailor. And also I saw him how he's tying the garment together. And sometimes pictures is more expressing more than words. Did it convey a certain message? I believe in this saying, a picture may be more expressing than 1,000 words. And as we see here in this track, the employee is not paying attention to him. Those who are dedicated to clean and to serve the site. Maybe the picture is giving the people a certain image. Now you have to follow the slow motion technology as an ability, as a concept. You can be able to convey your message to people. It's all slow motion, and you use the shutter, and you can be able to come up with this picture and control the light as well. And God bless you. And I swear to God, I see a lot of photographers, and this hobby has become common recently. This His Excellency Captain Pilot Lieutenant Colonel Mawad al-Saini, actually Colonel, I salute him, and he's one among the people who assisted us and allowed us and to give us the maximum opportunity so we can have what we want. Beautiful pictures, but now with the development of technology, and there are a lot of new cameras. And every house has a certain camera. Would you consider this as a moda, as a trend? Is this like a trend? Is does this benefit you, or the career is you'll be affecting your career, or it's going to be like it's going to formulate sort of competition? I respect any person who carries a camera and take photos. Normally now, the camera, it's you have it maybe anytime. Maybe I'm with this, but as much as I can to say that we have to respect this habit. We're used to your honesty, so is there any certain locations or associations or courses at decent expectations? We have courses and there are associations. We require each location requires. So thank you and God bless you for this beautiful interview, dear viewers. And our episode is not over yet, and we have a lot of talents. So stay with us and waiting for live images. So please stay tuned.
لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك والنعمة.
Welcome back, dear viewers of Iqra, and we're still with you and with the council to look into the old heritage of serving the pilgrims, those who perform their worship, their duties in an easy way. Dear viewers, as have you said, the pilgrims, they're coming to Mina, they're waving, they're coming to Mina, and dear viewers, we attempt in the council to take from each garden a flower, as they say. Our flower today, now, is the report with another interview, so stay with us. Thank you, dear colleagues. You have a son of the people of Makkah, Sir Abdulaziz Bali. Welcome on Iqra. Would like to talk to us about pilgrimage in the old days in Holy Mecca. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, and peace and blessings be upon the Prophet and his companions and his family as well. Pilgrimage, long time ago, has a different tone. Most of the families are prepared for pilgrimage from like 10 or 15th of Shawwal, where they started to prepare their houses so they can receive the pilgrims. The hotels were few in the Medina Munawwara, and the pilgrims used to come in most of the houses of the people of Al-Madinah. You find the house owners, they take the higher level and they leave the lower level for the pilgrims. Even though the topic of housing was spontaneous, whoever has the need, he would be rewarded by a small compensation, or whoever doesn't have the money, it would be like a charity for the sake of Allah. They would allow him to be there for free. And for that, a lot of relations been established between the people of Al-Madinah and the pilgrims. And as you know, they considered as hospitality. Somebody coming from Sudan, from somewhere else, you find there are relations and there's harmony, and they communicate with each other along the time. And praise be to Allah, pilgrimage had a special taste back in the days. In addition to that, the youth, when we were younger, we used to wait in Manaha the buses of the pilgrims as they arrive. And we started to take the pilgrims and try to place them in houses. And sometimes we make commissions. And all of the families grew up on doing that. Pilgrimage, praise be to Allah, is a different reality. Also, there are the process of conducting business, who's selling saints, who's selling other goodies, or especially during the dawn time. There's no one, and he's staying unemployed. Everyone is working, rich, poor, everybody's working, and it has a special taste. And we grew up on going out with our parents since we were 5 years old, and this will teach you the love of work, or the love for work, and it gives you the social life and the commercial life. You learn it from the reality of pilgrimage, and the pilgrimage has a special tune in Al-Madinah. There's no family that we live among, but they have certain symbology. The families, most of our big families in Al-Madinah are guides. Maybe you find this guy, he take people, the Indonesian pilgrims, and this guide the Egyptian ones. It has, if you may, it's a tendency. This guy is aware of the needs of the Indonesians, and for example, their housing and other needs. Honestly, other stuff had been undertaken with acceptance. Everything now with contracts, and it's getting complicated basically. Even though the housing is give and take, come 8 days for 1,000 riyal. Now they bargain for down to 500 riyal, even though it's a small amount. Now, when you take 2% commission, back in the days, that used to be a big thing. And when you say, "Oh, I earned 25 riyal," it was a big thing. Of course, thank be to Allah, life was beautiful, and in fact, we learned the love for work from our parents. My father used to take me when he goes to his shop when I was 5 years old, and he works at the Holy Mosque, and I go. I remember once, and I used to sleep with him in the Holy Mosque, and we got used to a lot of things. They were basically, and the core of it is the Holy Mosque. Most of the houses of Al-Madinah, within this big expansion that we're witnessing, whether in the yard or the gate of the Dammar, if you take the borders of Al-Madinah, it's close to the holy site. The pilgrim didn't suffer. Thousands of houses were there. There were neighborhoods, and it contains a lot of houses. And thank be to Allah, now the pilgrimage or pilgrims are multiplied compared to the past, and by praise of Allah, they're increasing even more. And by praise of Allah, I hope that the number of Muslims increased. Thank you, Abdul Aziz, and thank you all. And I'm honored by this interview, and I ask Allah, the all able, to preserve this immaculate country. Thank you, dear viewers, and we go back to our colleagues in the studio. Thank you, dear colleague Ala, and with his interview with Abdul Aziz Bali about Al-Madinah Al-Munawwara, when their service saying to the pilgrims, as we always would like to host one of the youth that he excelled in enchanting. I would like to welcome Munir Al-Hassani, the enchanter. Thank you. First thing, I'd like to ask you, in the beginning, the talent, who taught you? In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, and peace and blessings be upon the Prophet and his companions and family as well. Thank you for this, for having me, and I'd like to start this meeting to congratulate King Abdullah ibn Abdul Aziz and his Deputy Prince Amir Salman ibn Abdul Aziz and His Royal Highness Prince of Makkah al-Mukarramah Mashal bin Abdullah and all of the people of Saudi Arabia. When Ayman told you who discovered Munir al-Hassani, honestly, it wasn't like this in the beginning. It was with performing the adhan, the calling for prayers. It was when I was, it started when I was 7 years old. And then I started become enchanting the Hijazi songs. And we would like to hear something about Makkah al-Mukarramah and the pilgrimage. And as a son of Mecca, you lived this beautiful atmosphere, especially that you just arrived minutes ago. I have an enchant of Psalm by the lyrics of Saleh Jalal and composed by Hassan Kamras. The longing has called us to circumambulate. The longing has called us to circumambulate Allah's sight 7 times. And during the crossing, we've been blessed. And the good news of Allah, the mercy, the merciful. We've been blessed with the good news of the merciful. Answering your call, O Lord. Answering your call, O Lord. And from Zamzam, with the intention, Allah bless the calling with Zamzam. The Lord will bless the invitation. Those rituals been blessed by Allah from Mecca and Arafat. I'm answering your call, O Lord. Answering your call, O Lord. Oh Lord, that's beautiful. Don't you think that you're imitating someone? I may be influenced by the old ones. Maybe bless his soul, Abdurrahman al-Muwaddi. He was a caller for prayer. Almost. I'm influenced by him. Let me hear a quick enchant, please. Let me hear one from you, please. Let's change the tone. Let's change it to the Hirab tune. To you, my Lord, I came answering your call, So bless my pilgrimage and my invocation. To you, O Lord. I came answering your call. So bless my pilgrimage and invocation. I intended to come to you, and I came crying. And I came to you crying. And I know you're not going to let me down by sending me back crying. I'm enough proud that I'm a worshipper of you. Oh, my Lord. It's enough pride for me that I'm a worshipper of you. How pleased I am. How pleased I am if I became a worshipper. Oh Lord, that's beautiful. Oh Lord. Brother Munir, we're going to go out for a break and then we're going to continue our episode. Dear viewers, we're going to go out for a break and we're going to continue the council through Iqra, so please stay tuned.
مشاهدينا مكملين جلستنا في الاستماع لصوت الندي وهذه الايام المباركه كمان
episode in these blessed days the Munir al-Hassani and about the singing of the beauty of the holy places, and there are the words for the poet Abd al-Rahim al-Bura'i. It is from a heritage. I think that Dana, it is, you are distinguished with Dana, thanks to God and our teacher Jamil Mahmoud, and he is the Dean of Artists in Hijaz. To you, our God, I have come saying Labbaik, Labbaik. To you, my God, I have come saying Labbaik, Labbaik. Bless my pilgrimage and my invocations. I came to you crying, I came to you, I was forced to come and far from you to return me weeping. I came to you weeping, and it is far from you to return me back, be weeping. I am proud that I am worshipper to you. I am proud to be your servant and worshipper. How I am happy if I am a servant and worshipper and obedient to you. You are Allah, none resembling you, nothing resembles you, and filling my heart with wisdom and meanings. Well, thank you, Munir, especially from the you have beautiful voice in maqam, and it is a few people who master this kind of singing. Or do you have some people who teach people to learn such songs and way of singing Hijazi maqams, and
مو شرط اللي يخدم الحجيج
it is not to serve the circumambulator, only to serve the pilgrims. All the people of Mecca serve them. I don't have a background except in the singing and chanting of songs, and your songs are spread well, and there is a group of people who appeared in certain clips and they disappeared. Is there any special type for you? It is a personal effort, and I support myself. There is no department or official organization to sponsor you and take care of you. No, I don't make any advertisement or propaganda for myself. The interview spread through the communication means what is the best poem, the clip of the man who asked people to take sahur before dawn in Ramadan. There is support for the young people of Mecca and Hijaz, Abd Rabbu Ibrahim, and sometimes
جميل الدعم الذاتي والإصرار بس يعني
the self-support and the family. Any clip have you to select its topic or just beautiful words? I have to select the subject and the appropriate one and the occasion in which I say them. I give them to certain musicians and can we hear anything suits the pilgrims? About Mecca, anything about Mecca, other poems which were chanted in this city. Perhaps I keep a simple part of it. I go on the hillock with my soul at the time of circumambulation and in the two Marwas. And I, at the circumambulation and at the Marwatain, or the two Marwas, for the house. This is a simple portion of it. The Prophet, peace and peace on him, you keep many verses in praising, in eulogy of the Prophet, words of Ibrahim Khafaji and the tune from the heritage. Oh Allah, bless Muhammad and send peace on him and his companions, and oh God, bless Muhammad and give him peace and his companions as well. The Hashemite, he is the beloved by God, and this is in my song, the Hashemite and the Tehami. He is beloved from God, our intercessor in the crowd at the hereafter. Oh, give him, bless him, and give him peace, and the family of Taha and his companions as well. It is beautiful, these subjects. They have a certain objective, and the poem to be suitable to the occasion. Don't be a poet for the occasions only. We had an artist who wants to be available in all times, not to according to the occasion. I am also the same. I sing for the Prophet, and I say in Hajj, in Umrah, in Ramadan, in all occasions throughout the year. The last issue from the words of the Imam Muhammad Shafi'i, and tuning of Jamil Mahmoud, and he Jamil supports the young Hashim Baroum. He is one of our guests, hopefully. Who can see in the conscience and hear it? Oh Allah, you are prepared for everything expected. Oh Allah, who sees what is in conscience and here. Oh Allah, you are preparing for everything expected. Who is asked in all troubles and complaints go to him, who has a treasures of sustenance are endless. You have all good. Far from you and to send back any body without having reward. The blessing of the Prophet and his family. He is the best of all creatures, and he intercedes for us and bless. And do you think that the media is not giving the right consideration to these people? It might be their fault from the in certain aspects, but you as Munir, what do you hope from the media? The singers, they are well off, and I hope to have support from the channels in such meetings. It gives me reputation, and we hope that you support us in our clips, and the clips have you reached to your objectives. Just a clip. Oh, thanks to God, it is okay. I think sir, you have echoes to what you have done. Yes, especially for the first time in Hajj, the clip of the Musaharati. When do you think that the Hijazi art reaches the world? Hopefully we can't reach except through you, through your channels. Is there a translation or studios? You have to move until the media hears about him. You have to work. It is possible, yes. we have a clip written and titled, subtitled and translated to work, Hijazi work in English, and his idea was good. Yes, to utilize your being here and to let us hear something from you about Hajj also. Your last issue in the praise or eulogy of our beloved Prophet. Who blames on love. You are blaming an innocent. This love is my spirit. This love is my this is my spirit, even if you don't feel it. وصلت إلى الحبيب ومن يصل مثلي إلى هذه المدينة يحبر Thank you. You have enjoyed us and having you with us. Thank you, Munir Al-Hassani, for these captions of your innovations, and we hope to meet you. We conclude our episode today until we meet you in your program Al-Majles, and goodbye and peace be upon you. Peace be upon you.